Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks for meeting me here today. We're just going to do a really chilled out flow for periods or PMS and the general discomfort associated with that. So let's start taking hip circles in one direction and just try to be really mindful about this. Do this slowly. And just start to feel that release in the hips and the lower back region. Now take some hip circles in the other direction as well. And now slowly come down on your mat any way that is comfortable for you, and just come into any comfortable seated position. Now bring both your hands up to touch in prayer position, and then right hand on your left knee, left hand behind you, and twist to your left, looking over your left shoulder. So keep breathing here and try and keep your spine nice and long here as you twist deeper into this position. Okay, release the pose and let's take it on the other side. So hands up, and now the left hand comes to the right knee, right hand behind you, and you're twisting to look over your right shoulder. Okay, release the twist. Now place your left hand on the mat. You can walk it out as far as comfortable for you. And extend the right arm up and over towards the left, coming into a side bend. You can bend your left elbow and place the forearm on the ground if that's comfortable. Make sure your right hip isn't lifting off the ground. If it is, that means you're too deep into the pose and you need to come up a little bit. And of course, remember to keep breathing as you're holding all these poses. All right, release the pose and let's take it on the other side. So same thing here. Make sure that while you're bending towards your right now, your left hip isn't lifting up. Okay, let's lift up back to center. And let's set up for a wide-legged child's pose. So your toes are touching behind you, your heels are apart, and you're gonna take your knees around mat with distance apart. So your knees should be at the outer edges of your mat here. And you're gonna walk your hands forward and extend your arms out completely and try and bring your forehead to the ground. Sink deeper into your hips and allow them to start coming towards your heels more. Lift yourself back up and set up for a tabletop. So your wrists are below your shoulders, your knees are below your hips. And we're gonna do cat-cow breathing here. So breathe in, belly towards the floor, tailbone to the sky, look up. And then breathe out, round through the spine, look towards your navel. Breathe in, stretch up, look up, and breathe out, round through your spine. In, belly to the floor, heart forward, look up, tailbone to the sky, and breathe out, round through your back. Breathe in, look up, stretch up, and breathe out, rounding through the spine. Okay, come back to neutral, tabletop position. Walk your hands out in front of you sufficiently. Send your right leg back, straight and back. Curl your right toes under and push into your hands to feel a release to the back of the right leg. You can rock a little bit. So let's do this on the other side now, on the left. So left toes curled under, push into your hands, extend through the back of the left leg. And you can rock into your hips. So keep rocking back and forth. And again, switch legs. Do this on the right again. So push into your hands, rock your hips back, open up through the legs. And again, let's take this on the other side. So let's do this on the left. Let's release and come standing on your knees. And bring your right foot forward and flat on the ground. So you're creating a 90-degree angle in your right leg, and there's a 90-degree angle in your left leg as well. Place your left hand down next to your right foot. Spiral the right hand up and towards the sky into a twist. Release your right hand back down to the inside of your right foot. Now bring the sole of your left foot to face towards the right, and your left knee and quad face towards the left. Your hands are between equidistant from both knees, and you can walk your hands out in front of you and sink your hips back. You should feel a nice release through your hips here. Just keep breathing in this pose. Okay, now release and lift up back to center and lift your torso up. And place your right hand on your right knee. Left hand extends up, fingers pointing towards the sky. Tuck your pelvis in and your tailbone down. This will intensify the stretch through your quads, and bend over towards your right. So your left hand should now be facing towards the right. Okay, release and let's come into lizard. So both your hands are on the inside of your right foot. Walk your left leg back as much as you need to for it to be straight onto the mat. And you can keep your forearms on the ground, or you can be up on your hands. So you should be feeling a nice stretch through your left hip here. You can rock a little side to side to help you open up into that left hip if you need to. If you're very flexible, your right knee will fall out towards the right, and you'll come onto the edge of your right foot. And there'll be a tendency to lift up through the right big toe. So make sure the foot is nice and flat on your mat, and your right toe is touching the mat. Okay, now start pushing your hips back and straightening your right leg. And your right toes are flexed towards your face. Your hands are on either side of your right leg, and you're going to try and bring your forehead to your knee. So let's start to release this pose. Walk your hands forward again and come into a lizard. And now just walk your right foot back. Bring your legs together and sit your hips back onto your heels. So now you're in thunderbolt pose. Your spine is straight and you can just rest your hands on your thighs. Okay, let's take the left foot forward now. Both knees are 90-degree angle. Right hand down this time towards the inside of your left foot. And left hand twists up and the fingertips are pointing towards the sky. Okay, release the left hand down to the inside of the left foot. And now your right quad and knee are pointing towards the right, and the sole of your right foot is pointing towards the left. Your hands are equidistant to both knees. You will walk your hands out and sink your hips back, bringing your forehead towards the floor. Okay, so let's lift up all the way up now, torso straight. And now we're gonna put our left hand on our left knee, right hand up, fingers pointing towards the sky, and we're gonna start bending towards the left. So the fingertips will now start pointing towards the left side. Make sure your tailbone is tucked and your core is engaged to intensify the stretch now through your right quad. Now start setting up for lizard on the other side. So both hands on the inside of your left foot now. And walk your left foot forward a little bit or your right toes back a little bit to come deeper into the pose. You can bring your forearms down if that's comfortable for you, or you can just stay up on your hands. And you can choose to rock here a little bit, side to side, forward, backwards, kind of to encourage the hips to sink down more. So push your hips back now. So come up to your hands and push your hips back. Straighten your left leg now. Your left toes are flexed towards your face. And your hands are on either side of the left leg. And you're gonna try and bring your forehead to your left knee this time. It's completely normal for both sides to feel different. As you can see, my left side is tighter than my right side. It's much harder for me to bring my forehead down. Okay, now slowly walk your hands forward a little bit and start to release your left leg back to meet the right leg. And sit your hips back onto your heels again into Thunderbolt. From Thunderbolt, release your hands down into tabletop and walk your hands out in front of you. Start to bring your right knee towards your right wrist and your right ankle towards your left wrist. Sink your hips down into pigeon pose. Your right shin should be parallel to the front of your mat. If this is difficult for you, you can bring your right heel closer to your left hip, and you can insert a cushion or a block under your right hip to kind of just elevate that a little bit. If it's accessible to you, you can walk your hands out in front of you, grab opposite elbows, and bring your forearms down on the floor, and you can just rest your head on your forearms like a pillow. Now, straighten your arms, lift up, push your hips back again, bring your right leg to meet your left, and now let's take the pose on the other side. Left knee to left wrist, left ankle to right wrist. You can bring your left heel in closer to your right hip and insert a block or a pillow under your left hip if you need to. If you're comfortable in this pose, you can come down onto your forearms and rest your head down. Okay, push yourself back up, push your hips back up, and come sitting back on your heels in Thunderbolt. From here, transition to lying down on your back however you like. Extend both legs out and bring your right knee into your chest. Grab with your left hand and bend your left leg to bring your left heel close to your right buttock. If it's accessible to you, reach down with your right hand and grab your left foot. Now start dropping your right knee towards your left. Your left hand is on the outside of your right knee and you're turning your head to look towards your right. It's perfectly okay if your knee doesn't touch the ground. So let's release this twist and take it on the other side. So right leg extends out and left knee is bent and comes in towards the chest. You'll grab your left knee with your right hand this time. And you're gonna bend your right knee and see if you can grab your right foot with your left hand. Grabbing the foot with the hand is optional, so just find a comfortable position for yourself here. Now drop your left knee towards the right and turn your head to look over towards the left. Now release the twist, come back to center, plant your feet down, extend your legs out in front of you, and just come into your final relaxation pose here, corpse pose. So feet are mat width distance apart, toes are falling out towards the sides, hands are by the side of your body, palms facing upwards, and just relax here. You can stay here for as long as you like. Thank you for joining this practice here with me today, and I'll see you soon with another video.